A homicidal circus dropping from space, and the Book of the Dead rising from hell converge on this earth in this week's episode of Horror and the Hater.
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Brett Hayes.
And I am Steven with a PH, and this is the 5th episode of Horror and the Hater. Hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. We have been watching a lot of movies as a sacrifice for you, the people, so that we could do this. So like the video if you like it, subscribe if you're feeling the content, share it with your horror friends, share it with your hater friends, and do all the regular YouTube things that legitimate podcasts ask you to do.
By share with the people, he really means just look. I've been looking for somebody to talk about horror with, and who better than my best friend? So this is all just a ploy to get him to watch horror movies and then get have to discuss them with me. So it's been working out really well. So if you like it and you like the torture of this man, come follow us. But without further ado, we have two movies that I really like. Um, And I got to chat a little bit with Steven earlier, obviously, and he wasn't too crazy about one of them, so we might have to fight
Not
today.
feeling it, if I do say so myself.
Hey, man, that's how it goes. So, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, oh, can you hear that song already? That guitar riff coming in. It's beautiful, isn't it? You loved it?
I was kind of ambivalent to it. It was
All
it was
right.
it was nice. It let me know that I wasn't gonna have to take this seriously or worried about being frightened in any significant way. So it let me know that we were just in for a fun little circus ride.
Which is exactly what the Chiodo brothers meant to do. They directed this movie. There's three of them. They also used the same molds for those masks on a personal childhood favorite of mine, which is Ernest Scared Stupid. Any Ernest P. Worrell fans, let me know, because I don't know that many people who even know who Ernest is. Do you know who
My
Ernest is?
dad, my dad loved Ernest,
Oh my
so
God,
we
me too.
we
My
would
dad
see a
did
few
too.
Ernest T. Bass episodes in my household growing up. I think my grandpa had some of the VHS tapes, and
Okay.
so there was like Ernest Goes to Jail. I remembered that one, and there were a
Ernest
few good Ernest movies out there.
Ernest Scared Stupid is like their Halloween movie. And don't forget, for you Christmas fans out there, he did save Christmas. So we all need to give him our respect. Him and sweet little baby Jesus.
Absolutely, that's the true reason for the season.
Ernest P. Worrell, Man of Steel. They also had a hand in supervising the puppeteer team on Team America. So if you're
Okay,
a
you
Team
know what?
America
Respect
fan,
to them for that.
yeah, man. So funny. The movie came out and the budget for it was $2 million. Steven, how much did this movie make in its theatrical run?
Man, we're gonna give it a little bit of grace for it being an older. Let's go with it doubles up. Let's say it goes $4 million.
I swear I didn't tell him, and he's been off every single time. That is correct.
What?
So it
Let's
grossed
go.
it grossed $4 million in its theatrical run, but it went on to amass over $43 million thanks to re-releases, home video sales. This thing crushed when it made it to the market. Probably like due to the fact that the cover looks awesome. If you've seen the merch for this, which I have merch for Killer Clowns from Outer Space all throughout the house, love it. But I want to highlight my actor, and that's going to be John Vernon as Officer Curtis Mooney, who will be damned if someone gets one over on him. I love how big of a piece of shit he is. And he knows what role this is, and he plays the game for it. He's the worst person ever, and he gets his due, and I love it. I love everything about it. And my honorable mention is going to go to Royal Dano as Farmer Gene Green, who was the first person to perish, and he's my honorable mention for setting expectations early.
Yes. Shout out to
Everything
Pooh
he
Bear.
did.
R.I.P.
Pooh Bear, yeah, that's right.
R.I.P. Pooh
Pooh
Bear.
Bear. Right. Who are
The
your
first
actors, man?
casualty of the clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my actor, I'm gonna go with my notable actor as Suzanne Snyder as Debbie. I think she
Wow.
did a really, really great job, just
Uh-huh.
playing the believable role.
Mm.
She didn't overdo it too much, and so it was a fun character. And then we're gonna go with John Allen Nelson as Dave. That duo, the ex-lovers having to deal with their old history as they battle an intergalactic homicidal clown gang.
Right.
So,
I
yeah.
thought about him as well. But I was like, man, he seems like he doesn't know exactly what type of movie this is. He's playing this thing straight on the cuff. Like,
But I
we're in
think
a
that
serious
was
role.
actually kind of what made it a little bit like funnier, if I can describe this movie as funny. Um,
Oh, all right. Come on.
but but yeah, it's like he was the one that was that one straight lace. It's like that weird little, exception to the rule thing. It's a little bit more glaring and kind of provides a good contrast.
Okay. So IMDb has this at a 6.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it, what is it at? 61%, and Letterboxd at a 3.4 out of 5. So this movie comes in a little better than some of the other movies we've already talked about. So I know that that kind of surprises you, but it's kind of a big deal around here.
Yeah, it that does surprise me a little bit, but I can understand. I'm starting to learn 5 episodes in that the horror fans are truly sick and twisted people with tons of repressed trauma, and so they're into some things that just are a little bit off to the regular normies out there. Not that I would
Sure,
consider myself a normie, but
right.
in this respect, yeah. So. Do we want to go through this movie? Did you have like what are your favorite parts of this movie?
Oh, you
What
thought
like
we were,
makes this a horror,
yeah,
winner for you?
yeah, man. Two teens or college kids or immature adults. We don't really know how old these people are, but they're much too old to be hanging out at Makeout Point, where they are interrupted by an ice cream truck and a shooting star that seems to land not like too far from where they are. They take a trip into the woods. They come upon this circus tent. They get inside and find a cotton candy factory. But this cotton candy has a human filling. And they meet our alien villains, their pet balloon dog. Nearly escape with their lives. They head back town to warn, the police and potentially save the town from the killer clowns from outer space. The title rock song, "The Killer Clowns" by the Dickies, goes so hard. And honestly, that's not the only good track. There's music throughout that's pretty fun. I think it's supposed to be sinister too, but it's mostly fun. The soundtrack is fine. It's definitely different than anything else you're gonna hear, especially the movies that we've been watching. I'm not crazy about the leads in this movie, as you can probably tell from my honorable mentions and notable actors. But all of the side characters are pretty fun, albeit the Ice Cream Brothers are a little too goofy for me, which seems wild to say when watching this movie or like reflecting on it. You're like, oh, yeah, they're too goofy in the Killer
The
Clowns
Ice
from Outer
Cream
Space.
Brothers. The Ice Cream Brothers, they were a nice little bit of comic relief. But yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better
Yeah.
with having them as that silly comedic relief in the
Mhm.
midst of an already silly film that they were making. All right, so let's get into this movie. We start off with the police patrolling the streets of this town looking for miscreants, trying to keep the peace. And then we move quickly to Makeout Point, where, yes, there are people that are much too old to be lined up at Makeout Point in their cars, canoodling the night away. They're interrupted by the Ice Cream Brothers in their freshly bought ice cream truck. We have a funny little scene where the fat girls that the Ice Cream Brothers have in their truck that are eating all the ice cream are are kind of lame. They're not one to put out apparently. So get a little bit of comic relief from them, but then we see a giant meteor scream through the sky as all of the canoodlers at makeout point. Look on. It lands in a hillbilly's backyard, and he thinks he's gonna be rich.
Remember Gene
We
Green?
just struck gold. So yes, shout out to Brett's honorable mention. This man, but he and his dog go to investigate what they found. They find this crazy circus tent, and he is trying to figure out how to get in this thing when all of a sudden his beloved dog Pooh Bear is snatched away in
Hmm.
a comically large net that the clown reaches out of the tent and grabs the dog. Dog's gone. Farmer is very, very upset and is screaming out in pain. When all of a sudden, a giant, ugly clown emerges from the forest and shoots him with a cotton candy gun.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe is what we find out it was.
Oh
At
yeah.
first, I thought it was silly string, but we find out that it is in fact cotton candy. Then we flash back into the police station, and Officer Mooney thinks that college guys drinking wine in the park is what is killing this town. Officer Mooney, like I can understand why you like him, but like it seemed like the dude was just doing like a Rodney Dangerfield impression the entire time, and uh,
What?
and yeah, he was just like over here. He's like, "Well, I can't get no respect as an officer. You're not gonna push me out of here, you dirty young bloods." It's like
Yeah.
this. He's listen back to it. I'm telling you, I heard Rodney Dangerfield the entire time.
Yeah, so he's awesome. He is he's the best. I love this guy. This guy is always amped up. He's ready to fight everybody that comes through there, even the own officers. Honestly, if he looked at himself in the mirror and said something messed up, he'd go at it. So I like it. I like the supercharged up. I mean, it's an over the top cop, over the top
Very over the
douchebag,
top.
which in most films I'd be like, oh God, man, come on, like this isn't real. But in a film like this where everybody's a little over the top, I love it. Like I think it's perfect.
You know, it was at least better than screaming at the top of his lungs and just being at an 11 the whole time, like that chick from Rats. So we've at least gotten a little bit more of a dynamic character
The
with
chick from
Officer
Rats is
Mooney.
cool too.
But he wants to throw these teens in the slammer and then proceeds to list out the laundry list of just the lamest crimes that they've committed. He's like loitering, drinking in public, being out too late,
Mm.
being a little bit maybe gay. I'm not sure what they were doing on that park bench at night with a bottle of wine. Um, resisting arrest for the dumbest crimes in the world. It's like
Lock
these guys are
them
miscreants.
up.
And he
Lock them up.
does. He locks them up in the jail for the night, and then we move on. So we're back at makeout point. Some of the couple of the teens, Mike and Debbie,
Mhm.
go off on an adventure to find where this meteor landed. So all of a sudden, Debbie's really excited to go find where this meteor landed. And
Uh-huh.
Mike's like, I kind of want to stay here and like make out and like drink this champagne. That would be way cool. And then they get up there, and Mike is super pumped to check out the circus tent. Debbie's not feeling it. Mike then
Mm.
forces Debbie's hand and is like, don't be a baby. Just come look at this creepy circus tent that just dropped from space. There's probably nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
And then they go into the circus tent. Mike immediately starts pressing buttons, which I understand the urge to do that.
Right.
It's weird buttons on the wall, they make funny noises. I would
You
probably
like
be pressing those buttons as well.
you like the aesthetic of the ship?
I mean, it was a cool set design. They did a good job making it very whimsical while at the same time being pretty creepy as
Yeah,
well.
for
And then
sure.
you have the elevators to who knows where.
Right.
So you just pop into that thing and you pop out somewhere else and you just hope it's where you wanted to be.
Hell yeah.
But they keep exploring this ship, jump into an elevator, and are spit out in the cotton candy factory, where
Mm.
they find the cotton candy cocoons hung up by these giant clown beings are filled with their murdered friends. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun
Yeah,
dun.
so they run away,
Yeah.
and then they get shot with a popcorn gun as they escape.
Mhm.
which doesn't seem to do much at first. It covers them with a bunch of popcorn kernels. So they run away. They're shot with the popcorn. The clowns make a balloon animal that turns into a hound dog and chases after their scent.
Yeah.
So they're able to get back to their car, run over some of the clowns, and escape back into town. And we see the clowns menacingly begin to walk slowly into town, slower than Michael Myers. Even I was impressed. That
They got
was a
big shoes on,
good
dude.
slow, creepy walk.
You,
Yes,
you
and
saw
also
them
they're
travel everywhere.
here's the thing, they do not look as athletic. I mean, Michael Myers, the kid, he's, Midwestern, corn-fed, probably would have been a defensive tackle if things hadn't gone awry in his childhood.
Sure.
These clowns, they some of them clearly let themselves go. They've
Yeah.
clearly let themselves go. It's like, look in a mirror, man. You got all those funhouse mirrors and you can't freaking fix your face before you go out? Doesn't make
The,
sense to me.
the carnival business is a grind.
I understand that. I'm as a traveling salesman, I'm like a notch above a carny, I think in the books. So I get a little bit more respect than the carnies,
Sure.
but not much.
Well,
But anyway, we flash back into town. Flash back into town, and Mike and Debbie are trying to tell their stories to this young cop Dave. Um, we see the clowns start to emerge throughout the town. Dave is taking them in for questioning, and Officer Mooney overhears their crazy story and thinks this is all just some giant ruse to push him out of the force.
it
He
is.
also, at this point, says the name of the movie, so he does say "Killer Clowns from Outer Space."
Yeah.
So we should start doing like a counter of how many of these horror movies say the name of the movie, and I think we're up to
Uh,
like 3 or 4 at this point.
all that's important is that the one who says it, that's the actor of the movie, okay?
Uh,
Or it's
that's
like some random dude that has to like shoehorn it in.
that's a high honor to get
It
that
is.
line.
It
It's
is.
either a high honor or it's a throwaway line that just needed to be put in there.
Mm, yeah.
So anyway, clowns. They one of them puts on a puppet show for a random guy, shoots him
Mm.
into cotton candy, starts to turn everyone in a drugstore into cotton candy. They're just running through the town at this point. We go back to Dave and the interview, and we find out that Debbie and this cop used to date. And now he
Saucy.
knows that they were up there on Lookout Mountain Makeout Point, whatever the hell it was called. I can't remember. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knows that these two are together, and so now we have a little bit of a love triangle on our hands as
A
we
little
continue.
bit. He was pretty much beating the shit out of Mike. Yeah, I mean,
He
like,
was not pumped with. He put him in cuffs at the first available opportunity.
yeah, he didn't
He
beat him
was
up, I
just
guess, but he was just roughing him up the whole time.
Yeah, and as soon he did everything but plant drugs on this man to
Yeah.
arrest him. So he tries to get him into cuffs super quick. Mike has the instinct of whenever they drop Debbie off, he's like, "Hey, you want me going up there with your ex-boyfriend? This doesn't seem like a great idea. Like he's gonna mess me up whenever
Yeah.
we go out there." So they head off to investigate this whole killer clown thing. Dave still isn't totally buying it. But then we flash through amongst all of this storyline going through. You just see random scenes of the clowns just messing people up. Like we get the clown that rolls up to the biker bar.
Hmm.
The biker comes over and breaks the clown's bike.
Yeah.
Clown spouts up, got some boxing gloves magically,
Yeah.
and is just ready to fight. And the big biker guy says, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?" And then he proceeds to get his block knocked off and into a trash can. So that was a fun effect. You get your first severed flying head of the movie,
Peak
but
comedy.
peak comedy. It was exactly what you thought was gonna happen. And we all know that comedy is at its best when there is nothing spontaneous happening and you can just you can set your watch to it.
Right when he
So
said that, were you like, he's gonna get his head knocked off? Did you think that shit?
as soon as the guy came down with the boxing gloves, I was like, okay, well, this dude is going to get cartoon punched into space at a minimum. And then as soon as he leaned his head down, I was like, oh yeah, no, he's done. And then once he said, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?" Then it's just like, all right, cool. We have 3 points of evidence as to why this man's head is being removed from his body in the next few moments.
I thought it was still fun.
Yeah, that was probably I think that was my favorite kill of the movie.
Mm,
If there's gonna be one, it's gonna be the guy getting his block knocked off.
okay.
Then we move on to creepy pedo clown that starts waving at a kid
Hmm.
inside of a restaurant, trying to lure her outside to smash her with a hammer. Luckily, the mom stops her and says she has to finish all of her pizza.
Now
But
we can't
they
we can't really gloss over that one. That was the most tense moment in the movie. Like it kind of hung in the air whether this was actually going to happen or not. And when she opened the door, I've seen this movie a million times, but for some reason I was like, "Was he get the kid in this movie?" And I was just
gives
sitting
you
there
some
like,
real
"Oh
it
no."
vibes.
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah,
wild. Like it was a good tense moment. It's not a scary movie,
yeah.
but it was a tense moment.
It's not a scary movie, but the creepiest moment of that movie is that clown with his three fingers just
Oh
slowly
yeah.
beckoning for that
Yeah.
girl outside the window.
Hmm.
So yeah, that one, if there was one scene that would give me nightmares, it would probably be that one.
Okay.
But Dave and Mike drive up to Lookout Point to find all of the cars are abandoned and a web of cotton candy is covering them. Before this, they had driven out to where the circus tent was and found nothing but a crater in its place.
Hmm.
That's when Dave arrests Mike and is like, "You're just pulling my leg. You made me look like a fool in front of Mooney, and now what will people think of me? I can't look like a fool in front of Mooney." But then they find all the abandoned cars, and
Hmm.
Dave's like, "Hey, something's up." Finds they're all covered in a web of cotton candy. And Mike says, "This is what been trying to tell you the whole time, dude. I've been trying to say this, and you're just not listening to me. You're freaking about your ex-girlfriend, and I'm over here in cuffs." Dave pulls him out, takes the cuff off. He's on his team now. He's like, "All
The
right, I know
way
that you're telling the truth."
the way Mike talks though, would you believe him? Like he
No,
doesn't even make it convincing. Like his is totally just like, this guy's on drugs.
I do have in my notes that all of these people are very, very bad about explaining what is going on.
Yeah.
They're very bad about getting people to come. They just go straight to just the craziest sounding way that you could explain what's happening.
Yeah.
Which, granted, is the simplest way to explain what is happening. But at the same time, sell your story a little bit. Like you
True.
gotta, if you're trying to get people to believe you, maybe have some tactics about how you're gonna introduce the concept of killer clowns from outer space
Yeah.
to the public. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm
But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah, but no, they're all very, very bad at explaining the situation and getting people on their side until somebody sees a killer clown do the actual thing.
Yeah.
So now we start to get all of these calls coming into the police station, and Mooney just thinks it's just a big joke. The whole town's in on it now. Everybody is coming together to prank him about these clowns, drive him insane, and
Mm-hmm.
get him off the force before he can
Mm-hmm.
get his pension.
Yeah.
So clowns continue to wreak havoc. Clown runs a guy off a motorcycle or runs the guy off the road with an invisible motorcycle. You have the pizza delivery clowns that mess up this blonde woman. You have the old lady that gets cotton candy eyes after getting a random clown visitor at her door that brings her a card. Who, if a random clown shows up at my door, shotgun. Like we're gonna get to an Evil Dead 2, but like we're going Evil Dead 2
Shotgun.
on them. It's yes.
Step one, burn the book.
Step two. Well, step one with these clowns is shotgun.
Shotgun.
I have not seen any literature that these clowns are bringing with them. They seem to only be bringing circus equipment.
Okay.
There's not even a manual for how to operate those cotton candy wagons. So we have clowns continuing to wreak havoc on this. You have the employee of the drugstore calling into the cops. You have a random lady who's getting her yard torn up.
Mm.
We flash over to Debbie who's getting into the shower, and then we see that popcorn gun they got shot with may not have been as innocent as we thought it was. Popcorn kernels left over in the laundry hamper start to move and squeak, giving us a sinister foreshadowing of what's to come. Anyway, clowns start sprinkling popcorn around the dumpsters. Employee goes to throw away some trash and gets pulled into the dumpster. Um, Clowns do shadow puppets at the bus stop, and then the shadow puppet dinosaur proceeds to eat all of the people that were at the bus stop. That was the most confusing death of the entire thing. All the other ones
What?
at least made some kind of sense. Those people just disappeared into a shadow. Didn't get even turned into cotton candy.
I do not want to hear about anything making sense. We have had balloon animal dogs. We've had invisible motorcycles. We've
Right.
had guns that shoot popcorn and grow clown vines. You know what I mean? Like, not making sense. It's a weak argument already for this movie.
Okay, you know what? That is fair. So they see this insane happening, freak out. David calls this into Mooney, and Mooney is still not buying it.
Make
He
a dummy
will
out of
not be
yourself,
fooled.
but you're not gonna make a dummy out of Officer Mooney
Damn
or
right you're
Curtis
not.
Mooney.
So Mike finds his ice cream truck buddies and
Mm,
once again poorly explains what is going on.
yeah,
Somehow convinces them to go to Debbie's house because she has two friends with big boobs, and that is all the selling that they
two
need to
roommates. Yep.
join him on his quest. So calls keep coming in. Mooney's just ignoring him. He's just letting the phone ring. When all of a sudden, a clown walks into the station, and he thinks this joke has finally come to its conclusion. The climax. They're bringing the clowns into the station now to mess with him.
Hmm.
So he somehow cuffs this clown, has his hands fall off in his hands, gets the clown into the jail cell, and then is able to grab his. I don't even know what those things are called. The little things that go. Um,
It's not a kazoo, right?
it's not a
It's
kazoo. It's like a
yeah,
party favor. I don't
yeah,
even know what it's. Anyway, hits him with one of those that's actually a hand that grabs you by the throat, pulls him into the bar, knocks him out. Next thing you know, he's gotten candy,
yeah.
but
Mm.
not yet. The other guys that were drinking wine in the park, those guys that shared the jail cell with that clown for a brief moment,
College students.
college students, cut down in the prime of their youth,
Mm.
spun into a web of sugar.
Rest in peace, punk rockers.
Rest in peace, indeed. So anyway, we continue through this. Suddenly, David shows up at the station, and this evil clown has turned Mooney into some kind of sick ventriloquist dummy. And he tells David, "Hey, we don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you." A reassuring sentiment in these times.
Not bad.
So, Clown takes his hand out of Mooney's back. Mooney falls to the ground. That was probably the most satisfying death
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
entire
yeah, yeah.
movie. You
Absolutely.
you feel good. You're like you old crotchety bastard.
One evil
You got what
down,
was coming for you.
9 clowns to go.
Yes, 9 clowns to go. So they they all head to Debbie's house in the ice cream truck. Debbie opens the hamper to find tiny little clown demons popping up from everywhere. Every
Mm.
kernel of corn. They're in the medicine cabinet, they're in the hamper, they're popping out of the sink, they're coming and emerging from the toilet like a flashback to the original Street Trash. Clowns then kidnap Debbie in a giant balloon instead
Hmm.
of instead of cotton candyizing her. I don't know why they didn't. It seemed that they had like a few
Yeah,
special ones that were in balloons,
they
and then
were
most of the people.
right. So it was like it was all women that we heard went into balloons, but not of any particular like it wasn't like oh young or old or whatnot because it was like
Cool. So we can.
some dude's elderly wife got taken in one. I think was called in on the phone, and then she's taken in one. And I don't know that we see anybody else in balloons, but we see a whole bunch of balloons at the cotton candy
Yeah.
factory.
Which I assume there are people in there. Okay, so
Yeah.
the cotton candy ones are drinking their blood. Balloons, those are the sex trafficked ones.
Oh
So
God.
these they got a
Why'd
system
you
worked out.
you didn't have to do that.
I mean, I didn't do it. The
You did
clowns are the ones
it.
doing it.
You did it.
They
That
are the
wasn't
ones
canon.
that are kidnapping women in balloons to take off to some unknown planet. I don't
I,
know.
I'm sure there's like a comic book or something that would bring some light to that, shed some light to the balloons.
I'm just saying, anytime that we have a story about aliens coming in from outer space, they're always probing something.
If you have any inkling of what the balloons are for, let us know.
Yeah. Hit us in the comments if you can crack this mystery for us. So anyway, they come up and find Dave and Mike. They are in hot pursuit now of the clowns with the captured Debbie. And they go into the only logical place for clowns to go, the amusement park.
Yes.
Cut to the amusement park. The security guard tries to stop the clowns from coming in, but they just keep piling out of that little clown car.
Hmm.
They produce pies from outside or from somewhere. No, who knows where? Who knows how they got into that car?
Clowns always have special pies. We know that.
Yeah. So they pull out their special pies, cover this man in pie, and he proceeds to melt into a pile of whipped cream and bones. Which then the littlest clown goes and places a giant cherry on top of, just
And
for
how
comedic
did that
effect.
make you feel?
It felt whimsical, I guess. I was still
Okay.
just like, okay,
You
just
didn't
add a
like
little bit
it?
of insult to injury, man. That's
Oh, you didn't
seems
like
you
the
already
death?
you melt the guy and then you. Well, I mean, like here's the thing. As far as the death goes, it really wasn't. It really wasn't much of anything special. Like all you saw was just a pile of whipped cream. There
I've
weren't
never
any. There
I've
weren't
never seen
any creative
somebody
effects on that
pied
death.
by clowns to death.
Right. I'm just saying it's kind of an anticlimactic death. You just get covered in a bunch of goo, and then we just have to imagine what happens to you.
Yeah.
We only
Well,
get
he
to figure it out
melts.
once they go through. Well, we know that, but we don't get to see it. It's not like in Street Trash where they drink the stuff and then you get to see all the theatrics.
Oh, now you like street trash.
I'm just saying it
You
had a little bit more pizzazz in that one.
son of a bitch.
It's like this one is just like, oh, stuff's happening inside that whipped cream pile.
Oh,
Who
okay.
knows what
Hey,
it could be?
continue.
I will. Oh, the boys come across or come up to the amusement park. They speculate about where these beings came from. One of the ice cream boys presses a random button
Mm,
because once again we've established
right.
if there's gonna be random buttons that make fun noises, I understand pressing them.
Mm,
But then all of a sudden the ice cream boys they fall into a trap door that puts them into a ball pit hot tub with two very large breasted clown women.
yeah.
We really don't know what happens,
I think I know what
but we have
happens.
to assume that they fucked those clown aliens.
They absolutely did. Yes.
Because they got out alive. They
They
did not
were
get cotton candyfied. They come
they
back later to save the day, spoiler alert. But we have to assume that they brought those clown alien women to completion and were able to satiate their
that
bloodlust.
they came out, they had like the kisses all over them. They were happy when they came out of there. They got what they wanted. Honestly, if there's any like victor in this story, it was those two guys. They didn't care that people were being like taken. They didn't care about anything but their ice cream truck and two ladies with big breasts. That's what they wanted, and that's what they got.
Two dudes, four boobs, one dream. That's
That's
that's what it's all about.
that should be the new tagline.
If it,
You
I'm
know what's
available for hire.
you know what's funny is I have a lanyard, a Killer Clowns from Outer Space lanyard, and it says it's a riff on the Aliens tagline, which is "No one in space, no one can hear you scream."
Mhm.
And on theirs it says, "In space, you can't eat ice cream." It's pretty good, right? Come
I
on.
mean, they have the we all scream for ice cream. I guess,
Oh, dude,
well
you're
done.
such a hater. I can't stand you
That's
right now. Go
the
ahead.
point of the podcast, anyway. Dave and Mike then find the cotton candy part of the ship,
uh,
and they are shocked to see a clown drinking the blood of one of the cotton candy victims. He takes a giant, swirly, crazy straw.
mm,
It is honestly too complicated.
it is.
Sticks that into the cotton candy, drinks the blood, pops it out, and heads back about his day. Just a quick little afternoon pick me up. They eventually
So,
find the balloon. Yeah, go ahead.
are we like at this point, do we start thinking they're less of aliens and more of vampires?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Alien lore. I'm not super versed in alien lore, but it does go pretty deep. You have those people that believe that aliens do harvest stuff from human beings, whether it is like harvesting our blood or using us as essentially like antibody factories for growing cures for diseases that they have. They, think that they're here for the gold or something. But I believe that the probing thing comes mostly from them actually doing experiments on us where they're like placing things inside of our bodies so that we can create the antibodies and stuff. So I think within the alien lore, there is something for them for the aliens consuming humans in some form or fashion.
Join Stephen with the PH on Ancient Aliens.
That's our next podcast. But
No.
once again, you gotta subscribe to the Patreon to get
Okay, so
that to get that stuff.
continue on, sir.
So these boys are shocked to see the clowns drinking the blood, but they eventually find the balloon with Debbie in it.
Mm,
Dave smartly shoots the balloon open after Mike tries to punch it open. So we do have one tick in the Dave column for general intelligence. Yeah, you're not gonna
true.
punch a balloon open, dude.
The
Come on.
balloon that she's been punching the whole time.
Yes, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter being on one side or the other. The balloon is going to react the same way.
right.
Punches don't
Yeah.
exactly work. Even brass knuckles aren't going to be very effective.
No.
But a bullet does the trick. They get out and they find a way to escape. And then we find out that the clowns can be killed if you shoot their nose. We actually found that out whenever he killed the cop that killed Officer Mooney. But we know that the clowns have a weakness. You can shoot their nose and they will disintegrate. So he caps a couple clowns. They continue to run through the clowns' funhouse spaceship. They reach dead end with a bunch of doors and emerge after opening about 13 doors
Yeah.
into some type of arena uh, where we find them surrounded by clowns. They are able to pull an Obi-Wan Kenobi and get the high ground before having the ice cream truck boys smash through the side of the wall
Covered
and
in
then
hickeys.
covered in hickeys, just freshly drained, not
Oh
covered in
my
cotton
God,
candy.
dude. That's foul.
Did you watch this movie? There were some pretty foul
Well,
things
hey man, I'm with you. Keep
in this
going.
movie. So the ice cream truck boys come over the loudspeaker of the ice cream truck and distract all the clowns so that everyone else can just literally walk by them and get over to the ice cream truck. But things aren't over yet because all of a sudden, from the ceiling, drops a giant alien clown rancor type monster. It's
Ooh.
giant, giant evil clown, and smashes the ice cream truck. Smashes the clown that's on the ice cream truck first. He doesn't like any clown competition apparently. Throws the ice cream truck to the side. Uh, Throws just everything. Everything explodes. We get a lot of explosions, and then we have Dave offer to sacrifice himself in order to get the clown away so that
Hmm.
Mike and Debbie can escape. So the monster then grabs Dave and starts to drool at him for a little bit before he goes in for the bite.
Yeah.
Then we see the tent spaceship start to take off, go into the air. Dave pulls the police badge from his chest, stabs the clown in the nose, popping it, and that just another Star Wars reference kind of Phantom Menaces that whole spaceship
Oh,
and just
okay.
everything. All the clowns die. The spaceship just explodes, and all that is left over is the clown car,
Sure.
from which the ice cream boys emerge, along with Dave,
Mm.
perfectly intact. They apparently survived by being in the freezer of the ice cream truck when it exploded, Indiana Jones style. But yeah, we come to this ending where everyone is wondering if it's truly over when they get smacked in the face from the sky by clown pie residue. Doesn't melt
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So
That's like
and
an
that's where this
innuendo. Clown pie. We
yeah.
have to not say that anymore.
Hey, they started this off with
It's
just
unsettling.
sexual innuendo.
No,
So
you started it
it's
off with sexual innuendo.
the ice cream truck literally comes up talking about it. It's like, hey, let's get you some sweet cream for your canoodling that you're gonna be doing.
Right.
So
No, you got a point. All right.
I won't say that I started it.
Sure. I will. Lasers, beheadings, and shadow puppet monsters. Oh my.
Yeah,
If you're gonna do a PG-13 horror movie, I mean, this is kind of what I want. The gore isn't excessive, but it's pretty cool. I mean, the kills, they're kind of creative. I mean, I guess you don't agree. The kills, I thought, while there aren't a ton of different ways they kill people, I still haven't seen anybody pied by clowns to death. What was the really cool one that we were talking about earlier?
puppet
The
one.
the puppet one I thought was,
Puppet
I
one was
mean,
good.
did you think that was gonna happen? We thought it was gonna be something else, like a bam, tricked you and got him with
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
thought he was gonna be dead whenever he got choked by the little party favor.
Yeah, I mean, so there were some creative little kills in there, and the effects they're what you would think an 80s B horror movie would be. So
Still $2 million.
I know, but hey, furthermore. The merch that this movie provides, I have it all. I've got the t-shirts, I've got the Funkos, I got the lanyards. They all look dope. I mean, the aesthetic from this thing is really cool. It's got those bright colors kind of on those pastel clowns, They look it looks awesome, It's the perfect movie to kind of just have on. Again, if you're somebody that when you have people over, you throw movies on in the background, I am. This is kind of one of those ones you can have on, and people will look at it and be like, "What the fuck are we watching?" And it's kind of funny, It's a personal favorite. I do acknowledge that this movie is not a good movie, but it's not a bad movie. I really like this movie. I I really like this movie. And with that being said, that's 3.5 stars. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, did not really like this movie. I like stupid stuff, and I am totally okay with people spending exorbitant amounts of money on ridiculous things for no other reason than to be ridiculous. This one just really didn't vibe with me. I'm not like super deathly afraid of clowns. We had a friend in high school that was really afraid of clowns,
Yeah,
and it got to be a thing a few times.
yeah.
Some of the guys took some pranks a little too far there. But if you're not deathly afraid of clowns, this isn't going to be a scary movie for you. It's not exactly trying to be. But yeah, I really didn't find the humor that funny. It wasn't one where it just had
Mm.
me, rolling over laughing or really even chuckling. I don't know if I even gave it a snort throughout the
Oh,
entire film. It was a little bit rough. And yeah, like I said, unless you have an intense psychological aversion to clowns, it's not really going to be the scary side of horror for you. I'm going to give this one 1.5 stars. I think this is going to be my lowest rated movie so far.
man.
But yeah, it's one that I probably won't view again unless it is on randomly at your house against my
Oh
will.
man, dude, I think you're being too harsh on it. I mean, like, what are you putting this up against? What did you want to see from Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
I didn't want to see Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
like
I, I,
here's how to make this movie better. We take the
mm,
$2 million budget and those two brothers go get a real good therapist and work
oh,
out
okay.
whatever the fuck is going on in that brain. They got some there's some trauma there and
You know what? While I like this movie, here's what would make this movie just a little bit better. Probably for more people. Make it rated R. Go ham on these people.
throw some boobs in there.
That's what you wanted, and you know what? That's their bad. You could have also
Is
just
there
said when I said what could have made it better, you could have just said nudity. You could have just said it. You could have said it.
when we got to Debbie's shower scene, I was like, "Oh, are they throwing the obligatory horror boobs in here?" And they didn't. And then
And you
I
were
didn't
really sad the
realize
rest
that
of
it
the movie.
was rated PG-13. I didn't understand that. I was like,
Dude,
okay, maybe I can get a reprieve at some point. Nope.
so this movie, or this IP, I should say, I mean, it's gotten way more popular over the past, I would say, it hasn't been a full decade that it's gotten more popular, but it has gotten more popular. It's had a video game come out. There's talks of a remake coming out, and they got to lean on an R rating. Make these kills creative. If you're gonna do something like this, you're gonna be silly, just balls out. Make it gory, man. Make it something memorable every single time. And every which way. Yeah, you can have people in the background getting turned into these cotton candy things, but the people in the forefront, have them getting fucked up by something weird. You know what I mean? Like that's what
Yeah.
we're watching this movie for. This is not a good movie. This is not Titanic. This is not any of those types of movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throw
No,
the sink at it.
the silly string ray guns are just really not that intimidating. It's like they don't end up going well for the people involved.
No.
But also, it doesn't seem like something that would be a really horrible experience.
So I mean, do you have anything else you want to say about Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Do you ever want to talk about it again? Do you recommend it to anybody?
I wouldn't. I mean, if you just want a movie that, like, I can't in good conscience recommend that anybody watch this movie.
Okay.
No, it's just if you're into clowns and yeah, then maybe go for it. But once again, don't blame me for what happens.
Okay.
I wash my hands of this.
Well, to the rest of you that have taste, um, I recommend this movie. You're gonna have fun. This is not a movie. This is a popcorn flick. You throw popcorn on, yeah, on the stove, I guess, if you still do it like that. You throw some popcorn in that microwave, you settle down, and you watch the damn movie. And you enjoy that movie. But
If you can.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully this next movie you actually appreciated. And that next movie is
Oh
Evil
boy.
Dead 2. It is 6 years after the initial release of The Evil Dead. Sam Raimi returns to direct the sequel with lone survivor Ash Williams, uh, reprised by Bruce Campbell. Copyright issues be damned. Let's do reshoots and make an abridged recap of the first movie. It works. The budget $3.6 million. Would you like to guess how much the movie made in its theatrical release?
For the number two, let's say that, which Granted, I don't even remember what the first one made.
Uh,
But let's say that since it's now an established franchise, let's go like 10 mil.
oh, 5.9. That's
Oh,
how much it
okay.
made.
I was giving it too much credit.
I know. Look, we'll highlight Bruce Campbell. I don't know what you really want me to say. At the beginning of the movie, I did not like the because it's a complete kind of change of his character. Uh, from the first one, not really a complete change, but a more pronounced change, I should say. A lot more confident in this movie. Um, he comes in a little hot, and I was like taken aback a little bit, but once you settle into it, and as the movie progresses, his character, I mean, he definitely earns every bit of that confidence and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, he's great. Bruce Campbell, highlight. My honorable mention, it's gonna be to Tom Sullivan and Doug Beswick. They're the guys who brought the tree monster to life, which I thought looked cool as hell. Couldn't really say too much about the other actors. They either really didn't have a big part in it or I wasn't really that impressed. I mean, I guess Lydia was kind of cool. But yeah, Tree Monster was dope as hell. So I like that one a lot. What about you, man?
Yeah, I'm also gonna give Bruce Campbell his flowers on this one. He
Yeah.
he really kind of brought it in the second one. And then I'm gonna go for my honorable mention with the Demon Granny, or Demon Mom.
Oh,
So yeah, the mom from the basement.
yeah.
We're gonna give her some props. That was a fun character, and she did a great job just floating around that ceiling.
Old basement mommy.
Yep, got it. The
This,
professor didn't even take his own advice and dismember
oh,
like he knew he
yeah,
should.
I know. Step one
Look what happens. Burn the
from the
book.
book. So, IMDb on it, it's got a 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes screaming in with an 89%, and Letterboxd at a 4.0 out of 5. One of the higher movies that we reviewed so far. The Book of the Dead returns, and it's getting some of its pages back. I didn't know pages were missing, but it is getting them back. And Ash battles the demons of the Necronomicon, which include the forest, his deceased girlfriend, and his own hand. All while the daughter of the man who transcribed the Book of the Dead, on tape, makes her way to the remote cabin with the lost pages in tow.
So this one, okay, I'm gonna be real honest. I obviously not being a horror fan, I don't know these little nuances like they didn't have the rights to the movie. So when this movie first starts, they do a quick summary of the last movie, but it's just Ash and Linda. And
Yeah.
so the other people aren't there. They also recast Linda. So it's a completely different woman. So for the first like 2 minutes of this movie, I thought that Ash was bringing some other woman up to this demon cabin in the woods to be sacrificed to the devil, and then giving her his dead ex-girlfriend's necklace and like being all lovey-dovey and then all this stuff. And then once it got to the point where the head comes off from the shovel, I was like, wait a second, that happened last time. And then he calls her Linda, and then it was I was like, okay, all right, we're on the same page now. I'm a little bit less pissed off than I was about to be if this
Right.
dude is either has the worst amnesia in the world or is just working for Satan at this point, bringing one soul at a time out to this cabin.
Dude, so when I watched it, I was sitting there and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I get it. Maybe we're skipping past everybody else. But then I was sitting there like, wait a minute, but in the car, weren't they all in the same car? And all I
Yeah.
could think about was, oh, I have to say this. This is the first time I've ever seen Evil Dead 2. I've seen every other Evil Dead. I've seen Army of Darkness, which I was really confused about when I started it, and now I know why.
I bet.
Uh, so
We'll get
yeah,
to the
this
twist ending.
right. So this is the only one that I haven't ever seen. It just wasn't available for me to watch ever, or I didn't feel like paying for it or something. And yeah, so when I was first watching it, I was sitting there, I was having all those thoughts, and then I was like hearkening back to what we talked about, and I was like, "What up to the fifth wheel? Where's the fifth wheel?"
Yeah.
S- Yeah,
No,
so
and the third and the fourth.
Yeah,
I
then I
was wondering
jumped.
where all these extra wheels were.
So I Googled it and I saw Bruce Campbell did an interview about it. And yeah, they apparently throughout the entirety of the first three movies, they had copyright issues. So this will come up again as we go through Army of Darkness at some other point in time.
Great to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we kick it off back with Ash exactly where we left off, where he is still battling with these demons. He has just buried Linda. He is trying to
Mm.
escape this crazy house and jumps in the car and tries to drive away, forgetting that the bridge is knocked out. We get a great little cartoon shot of the bridge over with the little
Yeah.
animated in Ash over there.
Yeah.
That was a fun throwback to 80s special effects,
Right.
but looked like something out of Wile E. Coyote. So Ash comes back to the house and finally uh is able to get like a little bit of rest. So Ash finally wakes up in the forest. He hears the demons beckon him to join them in their devilly ways. Um and after being stopped by the demolished bridge, he heads back to the house trying to figure out what to do. A demon chases him through the house, and it's kind of crazy because this demon does get juked by Ash like pretty easily in this house. I would expect the demon to have better handles than that, but Ash is able to escape by hiding in the very basement from which all of this devilly stuff came. We then flash over to see a woman named Annie getting off of a private jet on a tarmac. She's greeted by her boyfriend, and we find out that she has the final pages of the Necronomicon. She is the daughter.
What?
Yes, she is the daughter of the professor that was searching for this book.
What?
Yep. Back to Ash. Piano starts playing itself. He's crying over Linda. He
Mm.
then sees Linda's headless corpse emerge from the ground and start to do a weird little like Nightmare Before Christmas type dance is what it kind of
It was a
reminded it
stop.
looked
Yeah, it was stop motion. So,
it was a stop motion thing.
yeah.
Looked very, very corny. Her head rolls over to join her, and then she's picking it up, doing all the fun
You want
little
to know
headless
what
dance things.
really messed with me during that scene? Is that Barbie or whatever they used for the stop motion had blonde hair. And I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out who it was. I was sitting there and I was like, wait a minute. Are we retconning the retcon? Is this one of the girls from the original? Like I was just sitting there like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Obviously
because that was the thing.
not
Because
a big
I
deal.
was Linda blonde in the first one? Because I want to say Linda was blonde. And
There
then in the
one of them
car,
was.
I'm pretty sure I want to say that Linda was blonde, and then whenever they're in the car in the opening revamp scene, because we don't have the rights to this stuff,
Uh-huh.
she's a brunette. So that's what threw me off at first,
Okay,
because I was
okay.
just like, "Where's this random lady coming from?" So anyway, her head joins her. They dance off into the woods, and then it reappears and grabs him, but it was all a dream. He wakes up.
Mm,
But then all
it
of a sudden
was
Linda's head just drops into his lap and bites his hand and pretty aggressively. It sticks on
yeah.
there. It's like a little raccoon. It's just not gonna let go. So he then takes this hand that is still or head that is still attached to his hand and runs into the woodshed and sticks the head in a vise and is able to get his hand
Right.
free. Uh, so Linda's head just continues to talk to him. Well, all of a sudden, Linda's body shows up with the chainsaw.
Mm.
They battle over that for a little bit, but luckily, Linda's body being without a head can't really see where she's kind of
I
pointing the chainsaw.
liked I liked that effect a lot more.
Yeah,
I don't know what they used for that because there's a lot of weird
looked
pacing
like a
in the
mannequin.
movie. Yeah, but they were it seems like it was like sped up or something like that because some of the scenes I don't know this to be fact, but some of the scenes were seemed like they were moving either at just not double time, but like a little bit faster or a little bit slower depending on what they were trying to do.
Hmm.
And it was throwing me off a little bit, just the pacing. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So Ash is able to wrestle the chainsaw away, and then he splits Linda's demon head in twixt with it. Then smart move keeps the chainsaw handy, keeps that on his person. Goes back into the house, looks in the mirror, trying to settle himself, and then it gets grabbed by himself through the mirror. He's going insane a little bit. I believe the medical diagnosis is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs,
Oh,
but he's tweaking. He's tweaking so bad his own
okay.
hand just starts trying to kill him, and he's just battling with his own hand against the odds.
Yeah.
Uh, so we leave Ash, and then we come back to Annie, who has discovered this bridge collapsed on the way to her father's cabin, trying to
Mm,
return the last few pages of the Necronomicon so he can finish his research.
mm.
Some construction guy tells her, "Hey, this road is closed. Can you not see the bridge that has been just completely Looney Tunes blown up into a million pieces?" When
Well,
all of a sudden,
he had to turn the light on.
well, yeah, you got to put the little sign up so
Right.
that they can see, hey,
Yeah.
bridge is out, detour. We then have a random couple show up who the first lady, I thought she was a lesbian at first because she was just seemed super
What?
butch and angry.
Oh my
And
God.
so I was like, what's up with this lady? And then her meth head boyfriend shows up and they know a secret trail to get to the cabin.
They're not methods. They're red.
Okay. That one dude was missing a suspicious tooth. So
I don't think they
he
have a
had
ton of
a,
dental around the area.
yeah, yeah, that's what happens when you do meth.
All
Spend all your
right,
money on
here
meth,
we go. All right, keep
don't have
going.
money for teeth. Anyway, they hire this weird hillbilly couple to take them up the secret trail and to the cabin. Uh, Ash, meanwhile, is trying to get his hand back still from this demon, and it's just not working. This hand is kind of kicking his ass. It is just grabbing plates, smashing him over his head, slapping him about, and finally knocks him out and then starts slowly crawling across the floor to a cleaver. But at the last second, he is able to stab it into the floor with a giant kitchen knife and then use the chainsaw to remove his own hand, a la the Saw movies. So
Badass,
he
badass
puts
scene.
a yeah, that's when I really gained a lot of respect for Ash. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, man? You are no longer in this situation where you're the idiot
Mm-hmm.
not knowing what to do. You're taking decisive action right now.
Yep.
You're coming up with creative solutions to your problems and you're really leading by example. And so I appreciated Ash and gained quite a bit of respect for him. Then decides that hey, we're gonna just put a bucket over this demon hand. We're gonna put some books on top of it. That'll probably be good. Spoiler alert: it is not good. And so we go into this like funny. It is literally like a Tom and Jerry scene where the hand is crawling around
Yeah.
through these mouse holes, through the walls. He's shooting shotgun shells into the walls, trying to get this hand. Finally, seems like he hits it whenever some blood starts to leak out of the wall. But then all of a sudden, blood starts to cascade out the wall, and then projectile vomit out of every hole in the wall, and just
Badass.
more demon stuff starts going awry.
It was
All the
awesome.
furniture starts mocking him. Everything is just torturing this man
Yeah.
psychologically and physically. So all of a sudden, during the midst of all this demon stuff going down, Ash with his shotgun fires at what he thinks might be a demon outside the door. Turns out it's our group of weary travelers that then
Mm.
attack Ash, knock him unconscious,
Mm-hmm.
and then Annie sees the bloody chainsaw
Mm-hmm.
and can only imagine what has happened to her father. So they immediately are like, this dude definitely did it. We're not going to listen to anything he says. We're just going to chuck him into the basement. So they just throw him into the basement. That's when
Yep.
Annie finds the tape recorder and she finds out that her dad released the demon. into the world.
Oh yeah.
And the demon got her mom. We also
Who
find out
is
who is
in
my
the
honorable mention
basement?
in the basement. Buried in the basement. Yes, this man, once again, does not have the wherewithal to follow his own instructions and dismember these demon bodies. He can't do that to his lovely wife.
Mm-mm.
And so he buries her whole in the basement, in
Mm.
the house. Now, that may be a reason why the basement was chained shut in the first movie.
Could be.
Maybe that is a maybe that's a good reason. So we are back in it. Ash is trying to explain things. He gets chucked into the basement. Annie finds the recording. Now Annie's boyfriend is a demon. Oh man. The demons start to say that they will have everyone dead by dawn. Demon eats one of the lady's hair. But then Ash comes in out of the basement. They're able to get him out of there before Demon Granny gets him.
Hmm.
He gets his axe, starts freaking going to work. Just absolutely demolishes Annie's boyfriend without hesitation. It's like, yeah, no, we're not leaving that guy around. So things start banging around again. A door creeps open. Annie and Ash go to investigate it. The house begins to shake, and an apparition of Annie's father appears to warn them of the dark spirit. Their salvation lies in the final pages of the book that Annie has brought to the house. Bobby Joe. This is when I learned the butch lady's name. Her name is Bobby
Oh my
Joe.
God.
Bobby Joe is then grabbed by the demon hand and runs off into the woods, which, as we know, is not the move in this
No,
situation.
it's not.
She is grabbed by the evil Ents and they drag her off into the forest. Although, as far as we know, they did not violate her like they did with our dear fifth wheel from the first movie.
It's true.
They're at least they're it's progress.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
it's progress. So they drag her off. Meanwhile, back at the house, they break into the case to get the final pages of the Book of the Dead out. When all of a sudden, our methed up hillbilly freaks out, grabs the shotgun, and throws those pages down in the basement. Forces the other people at gunpoint to leave the cabin. When all of a sudden, the demon comes running after him. This guy's out here calling for his lady, and what does he get instead? A dance with the devil. Demon
Oh my
Ash pops
God.
up, throws him into a tree. Annie escapes back into the house and finds the demon spear. She hears a rattling at the door. She's ready with the spear. Boom. Ends up stabbing the meth guy. Which I was pretty pumped about. I was like, okay, I don't even care if he's a demon. It's like, just this dude he's off.
You
Like
really did
he
not
just
like
needs,
that guy.
he, no, he was just
Mm,
got a weird feeling. It's one of those guys that's
okay.
like, I'm not going to do business with you, sir. Don't want to be on a vacation in a cabin with the woods with you. So she stabs him, drags him into the house. Uh, she accidentally puts him by the basement door, and he is promptly dragged into the basement by
Hmm.
Mama Demon. And then we see another tidal wave of blood just coming out of the basement.
Beautiful.
So yeah, lots of blood that immediately just dries up and disappears. So this is the magic of the demons. So Demon Ash is back and he throws Annie against the wall, but then suddenly he finds the necklace that he gave to Linda, which heals his soul, and the demon leaves him. Annie then tries, understandably, to axe him into pieces, and he
Yeah.
is finally able to convince her, "Hey, I'm good. It's gone. We are all good." But now
Hold
they are in
up.
the sticky situation of needing the pages from the basement.
Right.
So they go get prepared. We get a little montage of them strapping up with some weapons from the shed, and we get the prosthetic chainsaw arm for Mr.
Oh,
Ash.
super
Captain Hook ain't
badass.
got shit on Ash, man.
No,
I'm
no,
telling you.
no.
Nah. Captain
Got
Hook
the
ain't got shit on this.
yeah, fucking
Chainsaw arm?
badass. Yeah,
It's pretty dope. So they head down into the basement and start finding the pages. We get some fun little skeleton jump scares and some more blood and stuff. Finds the rest of the pages, throws them up to Annie, but then Demon Mama grabs him as he's trying to come up the stairs. She pops
basement
up from the
mommy.
basement, grabs Annie by the hair, spins her around the ceiling. Ash pops up and calls out to the demon. She just grows this like giant weird dino neck thing and
Yeah.
starts taunting him.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we know about Ash now? Ash has a chainsaw for a hand. So after Annie starts to sing "Hush, little baby, don't say a word," Mama's gonna buy you a bird.
I hated that moment, by the way. I thought that was so fucking lame.
It was so
I said
lame.
it out loud. I was like, lame. I said,
I
oh my
mean,
God.
I mean, I get what they were trying to do. And like I
Yeah,
can get the first one where mom sings it to her being
sure.
like creepy and all that stuff. But then yeah, the callback to it seemed a little bit forced.
Weak.
So
Continue.
yeah. So the demon is distracted and that's when Mr. Chainsaw goes to work and finally he gets one of the coolest lines in the movie. Once the dismembered head is still screaming at him, saying, "I'm going to swallow your soul." He says, "Swallow this." And then shoots her with a shotgun. It was,
Point
it was
blank.
pretty dope.
Yep.
Point blank. So Annie's a little bit shaken, you
Hmm.
know.
Understandably.
Obviously. They get a moment of reprieve when suddenly the house is attacked by evil ents again. So the trees, they're not having it. And apparently, Annie didn't finish reading the passage that sends the evil back to hell. So Annie says the words, but is stabbed by the evil hand who has gotten hold of the demon spear again. The tree grabs Ash, tries to eat him, but Annie finds a way with her dying breath to say the final words of the Necronomicon, and the evil is sucked back into a giant portal. But then the portal starts to suck Ash and everything else through it, when all of a sudden he is dropped into what I can only assume is medieval Europe.
Okay.
Him and his car are dropped into medieval Europe. A band of armor clad knights surround him and are about to execute him when suddenly a giant flying demon comes streaking through the sky, scaring the soldiers away. That's when Ash stands up with his chainsaw arm and his shotgun and blows the demon's head off. After he blows the demon's head off, the knights are obviously like, okay, this dude's the new king. Everybody on board with that? This guy's new king.
Hell yeah,
Ash
brother.
is Ash is not super pumped about being the new
Mm,
king.
doesn't seem like it.
And yeah, we pan away from Ash as he says, "No." And that's
Yeah.
where we end this chapter.
Yeah. What a movie, right? Indiana Jones flavor and the finding of the book and the lost pages.
Which honestly,
Uh,
that's my favorite part. Like I love that they got more into the lore on this one. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's what made this one better than the original for me.
absolutely a good bit of backstory to the book. The gore is done much better here. Obviously, though, the budget was massively bigger. I think the first one was like it was under 400K that they did the movie for, and this comes in at 3.6. Is that what we saw earlier? I
I
think it
believe
was
so.
3.6. So I mean, they made use of the money. I the effects take it up a notch. Even though the stop motion was kind of weird, I'm sure at the time was cool. We've obviously seen stop motion done very well now. And this being a first time watch for both of us, a little unfair to kind of pit it against anything. I
Yeah.
love the scene where that hand, while he's like unconscious, is pulling him towards the cleaver. I thought
That
that
was
was
cool.
like really cool. Most of the scenes where he's battling his own hand doesn't do it for me, man. But him
It's more
severing his
slapsticky in those moments.
yeah, and but him
Like
severing his
literally.
own hand with the chainsaw was brutal
That
and
was
cool as hell. It
yeah.
was cool. Blood that pours from the walls into the room at Ash when he shoots his severed hand is fucking cool. The redneck local grabbing Ash out of the basement by the head seemed a little unreasonable. Which comes full circle when he is then grabbed by the head and lowered into the basement himself by Basement Mommy.
Yeah.
Uh, the head explosion was dope. Like I said earlier in this, when I gave him my notable, I like Ash a lot better towards the end of the movie as, as a character overall. I feel like he finally earns all of that cockiness and that confidence. Um,
I think he makes the shift when he loses his hand. I think that
Absolutely. And
that's the
And
moment.
when they do get booted up, like you said earlier, he's got the tattered clothing, shotgun sling on his back. He's got the chainsaw hand. It's dope. It's cool, man. The tree monster, like I mentioned earlier, is my honorable. It's really cool looking. I love practical effects like that. I think they look so cool. Big reason why I'm a fan of stuff like the Neverending Story. I always thought those were really cool too, practical effects. So, or Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Never saw
No.
those either.
Okay, well, uh,
They're
so
not horror movies. You can't make me watch them, Brett.
if there are horror movies, let us know so I can make Steven watch them. And you know what? With the improved budget, we got better sets in this movie. So, like I'm not super high on Evil Dead 2, and I don't want to give it too bad of a look. I think it's a fine movie. It's three for me. Um, like I said, with a more of a budget, uh, I expect it was just like falling into kind of like where can we go from here type moments. Like I was kind of not boredom, but maybe, a little bit like kind of move the story on a little bit. We've been sitting here the whole time. I felt like the story moved quicker in the first Evil Dead, even though they were only in one location the entirety. In this one, they at least have a couple different locations, not many more, but a couple different, and it seemed to move slower. Even though I'm not saying the first Evil Dead was a fast movie. That's kind of a long hour and a half almost, but yeah, it's a little under the first one for me. Still a fine movie. I don't really care to check it out again though.
Yeah, for me, it's gonna be also a three, and so I think this one is on par or a little bit higher than my last Evil Dead. I liked it more than the first Evil Dead, and I think it was
Okay.
just mostly because of the story aspect to it, getting a little bit more lore on the demon book. It kind of gave you some stakes, gave you a little bit of a mystery. And so I enjoyed that portion of it, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes in his time travel adventures now that we've dipped off to that. But I'm gonna go with the 3 stars for this one. I also kind of agree. It's like they're where the story wasn't. It was just we're gonna shoot buckets of Kool-Aid out of the walls, and
Oh.
that's gonna be how we're gonna transition scenes in this
I
movie.
mean, I like
So
that part of it. I mean, if you wanna make it rain blood, like another Evil Dead movie that I really like did, or shoot blood out of the walls or from wherever, I don't care. More blood, I'm happy. I think it looks great. I love it. I just every time it happens, I'm like, that's badass. And then, you know, it does it for me. I don't know what it is.
no, the stuff coming out of the basement though did seem like really really fruit punchy. So
Okay, yes.
just kind of frothing at the
Hey,
up
it
there, but
was it was it
you got
better
to work with what you
than
got.
the effects at the end of the first one?
Yeah, you know,
The
you give
Play-Doh
him an extra
faces?
$1 million, it's gonna be better.
A
So
million. They gave him an extra $3 million and some change.
yeah,
Yeah, this movie was made for a lot more money, but I mean, I digress. It's still a fine movie. I think I maybe nostalgia plays more in the first Evil Dead for me. And seeing how this is, of course, the last one I see, maybe in time this one will climb up that ladder even more. You know what I mean? Because that happens. I used to be a lot higher on a couple movies that will make it too. So yeah,
All
man,
right.
I enjoyed it. Did you at least enjoy these selections this week, or are you not very happy?
I'll say like I enjoyed Evil Dead much more than I did Killer Clowns. Killer Clowns was another one where I'm just like, okay, all right, cool, we're doing this now. All right. It was just never sucked me in to their cotton candy cocoon.
Pause.
Uh,
It's a joke. You said something
okay.
gay, so I said pause.
Oh, okay. I thought we were pausing for the recording or something.
No.
But no, so I was not sucked into the cotton candy cocoon. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, I once again, I still think that yeah, Street Trash. While I didn't have my rating system totally locked in and dialed in at that point, that one was probably the roughest watch. But Killer
Yeah.
Clowns is on that list now as well.
Really? It's so
Yeah,
crazy. So you're telling me, and okay. So we've seen a few different movies. Would you have more fun rewatching Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or what's another movie you gave a low rating to? Street Trash 2024.
I would probably go with I'd probably go with Killer Clowns
Ooh.
at that point.
Now, what about Killer Clowns versus Halloween?
You
Yeah.
know, probably Killer Clowns just because
Oh my
it
goodness.
would satisfy my ADHD a little bit more. It's just like, ah, there's some cool colors and you don't really have to pay attention as much, which you don't have to pay
He's the
attention to
hater.
Halloween either.
I mean, like it reflects though. I get it. So because both of those movies you rated higher, but maybe some of that is not on rewatchability. Sometimes
Yeah.
a
It's
worse
like
movie.
I also want to give some of the movies their flowers for it's like,
Yeah, sure.
I'm not gonna totally kill Halloween.
So
Mostly kill it.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space might be the second worst movie he's seen, but not the worst movie that he wouldn't rewatch.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
it's a sliding scale, I believe.
That's
There's
crazy. Can we get a recommendation then? Or are we still going no?
I think we're still going no. You know,
God,
Evil Dead 2 though, I would say like if you're into kind of like the demon lore and stuff like that, might be a fun watch for you.
here's what I'll say. Even though I'm not high on Evil Dead 2, and I think I've recommended every movie but one, right? Uh, I do recommend Evil Dead 2 because we haven't seen my favorite Evil Dead, but it's got some of the things from Evil Dead 2 that were inspired into it. It's very good. It is a good movie, worth watching. It will not be a waste of your time.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get into that one. We're going through all the Evil Deads, so
Yeah.
which what are we up to next week?
So we're actually going to talk about it. I know for sure that we are doing Friday the 13th part 2 is going to be
Got
one
to
of
get
them.
one of those for you.
But I don't think, you know what? I don't want to do Evil Dead back to back. Because we have time until the newest one comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
we'll
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 find
we'll
some
discuss.
other great movie. I'm sure it will be a great movie that I get to
Absolutely.
watch in
And
place of another Evil Dead.
uh, and if you have any recommendations for Steven, let me know, and we will definitely
Yes.
get to it as within reason. I don't want to kill him with some of these other movies. I'm talking about you, Human Centipede. Uh,
Ooh, yeah, no. No, thank you.
look, if the people want it, that's what they get.
I
That's
think
what
I
you
can
get, dude.
already think I can already kind of give a rating on that one just from seeing the commercials in that one episode of South Park.
Hell yeah.
So,
Well, thank you for joining us on Horror and the Hater. We'll see you later.